And as I always say, if you like this reading, please like or subscribe or leave a comment if you would like to. Only if you'd like to, of course. And everything's ready. I'm just going to start your reading for lovely Scorpio people, as usual. The first card you have for your past is the Queen of Pentacles. So yes, if you look at this queen, she's very calm, she's very serene, she's holding this coin in her lap and almost like it's a child. She's looking at it very lovingly and she's very, very calm. And that's how you are when you have a little child in your arms, a little baby, you're trying to get it to sleep and you're kind of looking at it very gently and very carefully. And that's what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing that you had to try and keep calm in a situation. I'm saying had to because I'm seeing someone who was trying to kind of make you the opposite. You had to really try and do your best to keep calm around this person. You could have been trying to not show how you were feeling. You might have actually been feeling the opposite, but you had to try and keep calm or appear that you were calm. I'm seeing someone could have caught you off guard a bit, actually. I'm seeing someone actually questioning you when you weren't ready to give them an answer or something like that, maybe catching you out in some way. They might have wanted you to, they might have caused a bit of drama and they might have wanted you to act up and start getting upset, and then they could have said, oh, look at this unreasonable person. You know, they might have been setting you up. This is a very sneaky, very crafty person. But I'm seeing that you handled this extremely well. You were very calm. You didn't give anything away. This person could have been trying to get you to tell them whatever this was, trying to get something out of you. This is a very underhanded person. They were trying to do things in a kind of a manipulative way, but you didn't give them what they wanted. You came out of this really, really well, like this beautiful, serene queen on this card. You just kept your cool, you just kept your calm, and you didn't give them what they wanted. That's what I'm seeing. The next card you have for your past is the Magician. I love this card. Yes, so you knew what you needed to do in this situation. This person was very crafty and they were very clever as well. But I'm seeing that your mind is very, very sharp. You were a lot sharper than they were. You were cleverer than they were. They were clever in a kind of a nasty way, but you were clever in your mind. You knew kind of what you needed to do, and you knew that you couldn't let your emotions take over your brain. That's what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing you could kind of read this person, I'm seeing, before they actually started in their antics. It's like you could tell, you think something's going to happen here. I can see something's up, and I know that I'm going to have to act in a certain way to not give them what they want. So yes, you've always had this kind of ability to read people, I'm seeing, and you can read situations. You've always been able to do that, and you'll always have this ability as well. This Magician has an infinity symbol over his head, so you'll have this ability forever, in infinity. You'll always be able to read people. This is a very fantastic thing to have. A lot of people don't have this ability. You have really good instincts as well when it comes to people, and you had fantastic instincts in this situation. You know their intentions as well. You can see people's intentions. The other thing I'm seeing is you're very good at persuading people of things, not in a nasty way, not in a manipulative way, but you're just very good at getting people to understand your point of view. That's what I'm seeing. And yes, at this time you knew exactly when to keep quiet. You knew when to keep quiet. You knew what to do. You knew what the outcome was going to be. The Magician knows. He puts whatever he does into practice to manifest things, to get what he wants. You knew what you wanted the outcome to be. You didn't want to give things away, and that's what you got. That was the outcome you got. That's what I'm seeing. The last card you have your past is the Lovers. So yes, there's definitely a link. There's a romantic link. There's a love link between you, or there was at this time. There probably still is at this time now. There was a link between you and someone else. A very, very strong link. Yes, and there still is now. I'm seeing that. But I'm seeing that you probably weren't around this person at this time, but the link was still there. There was definitely a link, definitely a connection. I'm seeing there was probably a decision that was made around this person, probably in your more distant past at some time. There was some kind of change that happened between you, or there was a change that happened with one of you. One of you changed. You were one way, and then there was this change. I'm not seeing whether this is you or them that changed, but one of you changed, the other one wasn't happy, and there was some kind of a decision that had to be made around this. That's what I'm seeing. So this could be why they weren't around you at this time. This is why I'm not seeing them around you at this time. You might have kind of either taken a break from them or moved on from them or something, but you still had this link between you. That's what I'm seeing. The first card you have for your present is the Ace of Cups. So yes, I'm seeing that you do still have this link. This is about emotions, very, very strong emotions in the Ace of Cups. You still have a link to whoever this was in the Lover's card. And there's still a strong emotional tie there. Very, very emotional. I keep on seeing that. And when I look at this card, I'm seeing a downward progression. So things were fantastic between you at one time. And then you had this downward progression and something changed. And then you kind of separated or whatever it was that happened. So you started off and you had peace with this person. When I say downward progression, I'm looking at this card and I'm looking at it from the top down. So at the top of this card, you've got this beautiful dove going into the cup. So you had peace with them in the beginning of this relationship. You had beautiful peace. And then there were tears. If you look at this card, there are tears coming down. You had tears after that. And now at this stage, now that you're not around this person at this time, you're at the bottom of this card. At the bottom of this card, you have beautiful water lilies. So things in your life are now changing. They're growing. The growth, obviously flowers growing, but even though you're growing and you're changing, these lilies are still in the water, so there's still a lot of emotion still surrounding you. And that's why even though you've moved on and you've changed, you still have this emotional tie to whoever this is. You might be feeling like you'd like to be right back at the beginning of this card. You might still be reliving all of these things at this time. You might be going through these tears or remembering tears, feeling sad about this. And yes, you can't go backwards. Nobody could go backwards. But again, I'm seeing this link. There's a link between you. So if this resonates and you do reconnect with them, which I'm seeing you might actually do at some time, you might reconnect with this person. There is this link there. You're going to have to go over to the past with them. You're going to have to go right back to the beginning with this person, right back to this dove, right back to the start with them, and address all of the problems that you've had. But once you've done that, this is if you do get back together with this person, once you've done that, you're going to have to stop yourself from going backwards again and reliving things again and kind of bringing up old things again. You're going to have to come to a stop with it. Of course, you're going to have to go through any problems that you've had. Of course, you have to discuss them. But then once you've done that and you've come to some kind of a conclusion, you have to move on from that. Because I'm telling you this because I'm seeing there's a kind of a possibility that you might want to relive these things and go back to the start. That's what I'm seeing with this Ace of Cups. The next card you have for your present is the Six of Cups. So yes, this is about looking backwards. This is about, looking backwards positively. So obviously there were positive times and there were negative times as well. But at this time, now you're going to be looking back on your relationship with kind of positive things. You're thinking about all the happy times you had. This is also about reuniting. So yes, again, I'm seeing you'll probably get together with this person, maybe not totally, but there will be a connection again with this person. You will see them again. I'm seeing with this reuniting card. I'm seeing this person all over this reading. I know this sounds repetitive, but I keep on seeing them in this reading. Try and get some balance between all of these positive and negative memories you have of this person. You have all of these lovely things in the Six of Cups. Oh, it was a lovely sunny day and I spoke to them and they did this and there were flowers and there was this. And then you've got the Ace of Cups. Oh, there were tears and why can't it be like that? It was so sad. He really hurt me or she really hurt me or they did this. Real life is in between those two things. Real life is a combination of the good and the bad, and most of the time it's in between. It's not perfect. So come to a realization that things weren't up and down. Try to come to some balance in your emotions. You're definitely going to have to do this before you meet up with this person again, because you can't be meeting up with them when you're like this. Oh, you can't be like that. You need to kind of come back down to earth, find a balance. And when they do meet up with you again, if they do, and I'm seeing that you probably will, you want them to see someone who's calm, relaxed. You have things together. You want them to see you as that. You don't want them to see you as someone who's like, oh, all the time, because then they'll run the other way. I would if I saw someone like that. I know that sounds harsh, but try to keep things into balance. Try and say, look, they're human. I'm human. The reality is in between wonderful highs and terrible lows. The reality is in the middle somewhere. That's what I'm seeing. The last card you have for your present is the Star. So yes, look at this beautiful woman in this card. Obviously she's naked, we can all see that. She doesn't care. She's out in the open. She's not in her bedroom. She's not in her home. She's outside. She doesn't care who sees her. She has nothing to hide. So this shows her strength. She doesn't care what people think of her. She's who she is. She's just herself. So this is showing me that you're going to come into a time of strength, which is really what I really wanted to see in the Six of Cups. I wanted you to do that. You're coming into this time, you're feeling stronger in yourself, you're feeling more confident in yourself at this time. You'll only have people around you who are going to accept you for who you are deep down inside yourself. And this is the start of a phase where you're going to be very, very strong inside yourself. You're going to know what you do want. You're going to know what you don't want. This is a huge step forward again from where you are in your emotions. Your emotions were in extremes and now they're more down to earth. They're more balanced. That's what I'm seeing. The first card you have for your future is the Hierophant. So yes, this card can be about organized religion. It can be about strict rules. It can be about trying to impose views on other people, all kinds of different things. But yes, I'm glad you have this strong sense of self that I was seeing in the Star, because I am seeing someone might be pressuring you. They might be pressuring you to conform to something at this time. I'm seeing some situation in the workplace, actually. I'm seeing that there's something work-related. I'm seeing some rules being imposed on you. I'm seeing some new rules coming up. They're going to be imposed on you and other people who you work with or something like that. Now, even if you're not working in a company, it might be rules that are imposed on you as a freelance worker or whatever else. Some kind of rules that some big body has put down on you. Now, you might find these rules to be a bit silly and a bit unreasonable, a bit ridiculous. I find a lot of rules like that too. I don't like sticking to rules. But I'm not seeing you blindly conforming to these rules, but you're also not going to be standing up and jumping up and down and making yourself look obviously against them either. You're very clever. You're very clever. That's what I was seeing in the Magician. You have a very strong mind, but you have a clever mind. A strong mind doesn't mean jumping up and down and screaming and getting your own way. It means going about this in a very clever way. So I'm seeing that, you're going to use your brain. You might use your persuasiveness. You might use something, but you're going to get around this in some way. I'm not saying you're going to do something illegal, but you're going to get around this in some very clever way. That's what I'm seeing. The next card you have, your future, is the Knight of Pentacles. So yes, this is around the workplace as well. I'm seeing someone who might be in a college or a university, or maybe they're a student. They might not be. They might be teaching there. They might be lecturing there or something like that. This person's a very slow person. I don't mean slow in their brain. They're a bright person, obviously, but they're kind of slow at doing things. They check everything 20 times. They go back over things 100 times. They recheck, they make sure they haven't done anything wrong. They go back again, and they take a long, long time. And I'm feeling very frustrated when I'm thinking about this person because, I'm Aries and I can't stand this kind of a person. But you also might be very frustrated with them, because I'm seeing this is around your workplace, and you might have to get some kind of information, or you might have to get something from this person to do with your work. You might have to get help with something. This might be something you're applying for. This might be someone that has to give you a reference, or they might have to help you with something, but they're being very, very slow, and it's very frustrating. It's going to be very frustrating for you. So you might have to, they're not going to hurry up. You can ask them to hurry up, but they're not going to hurry up. So I'm seeing that again, you might use your magician skills. You might have to go about this in another way, try and either persuade them in some different way, or you might have to just abandon that person and go and look for your help somewhere else, get this assistance that you need somewhere else. The last card you have, your future, is the Moon. So yes, this is about this person in the Lovers card. This is about this person who you have this link with, this person who you have these emotional ups and downs with. This person is going to be thinking about you at this time, thinking very heavily about you at this time, thinking very deeply about you at this time. But this is the difference. You were thinking about them. You were thinking about them in the Six of Cups. You were thinking about them in the Ace of Cups. You were thinking about them all the time. You were thinking about happy times, sad times. Your emotions were all over the place. But then you got your strength together in the Star, and you were more positive in the Star. So you've changed in a positive way. But I'm seeing what's happening with them at this time is they're changing in a more negative way. Not that they're becoming a more negative person or they're becoming a worse person, but what's happening is they're remembering a lot of things that happened, and they might be thinking about some regrets they have or some things that went wrong in your time together, and they might be wishing things were done a different way. They might be thinking, oh no, why did I do this? Why did I say that? I'm really sad about that. They're actually looking back over your time together and they're thinking about it. And I'm looking at these watchtowers in this card, and when you're up in a watchtower, you can see everything, you can see the whole thing. So they're looking over your relationship or your time together, and they're thinking about what happened, they're thinking about the regrets they have, all of that stuff I've just said. I won't repeat myself, but yes, I'm seeing that they're probably going to come to you again. They're going to reconnect with you at some time. And this is going to be the perfect time for both of you. Now, I can't see whether you're going to get together again. If this is someone who you're in a relationship, I can't see that. But you are definitely going to connect in some way. You're going to have some kind of conversation, or you're going to have some kind of connection which will open this up again for you both. That's what I'm seeing. So Scorpio, I hope this resonated. As you know, general readings can't always resonate with everyone. But again, if you like this reading, please like, or please subscribe, or please leave a comment if you would like to. Thank you so much for watching.